Hello, I'm Jairam, and I'm delighted to be talking to you today about two of my favorite topics. One is sales, and the other is wildlife. And we'll combine these two unlikely topics together to try and get some really good lessons for success. So, sales is that function in an organization which is always top of the mind for every CEO and every entrepreneur. Sales is what ensures survival and growth of the organization by getting business, by earning money. And although as a former CEO, I'll never tell you that one function is more important than the other, sales is really the initiator of all business process. If sales gets business, then there is work to do for manufacturing and operations and services and human resources and finance, systems, and everybody else. So it's also this that makes sales very difficult. A salesperson creates his own work. He has to initiate his own work by actually intruding onto a customer's consciousness, getting into the customer's mind and saying, I have something that you need and I'm going to give it to you and make you happy. So please give me your money. Open your wallet and give me your money. Also, if a salesperson does not begin to do anything, he will achieve nothing. By the end of the quarter, by the end of the year, he's nowhere closer to his target. So today, we're going to actually dwell on 5 different activities that a salesperson should do to actually make business happen with a customer. And these are broad categories, broad stages in the sales process. And we are going to try to emulate or get inspired by animals, wild animals, predators. Why do we do this? Now, according to many popular frameworks, sales can be divided into different types of selling. There's hunting and there's farming. Hunting is more high risk. Hunting is more low success rate. And hunting is more difficult to do. Farming is a little easier, where you manage a large account, you manage relationship, you cross-sell different products to the same customer, you upsell by increasing value and so on. But hunting is where you actually have to really go out of your zone of comfort, and that's where the salesman earns his money. So where can you learn hunting any better than from wildlife predators? So let's get into it. Now, the first thing that a salesperson has to do right, the first stage in the sales process is search. How do you search for business? How do you figure out where opportunity lies? So throughout this discussion, when I talk about predators, you as a salesperson are the predator. Who is the prey? It's not the customer. We're not eating the customer. The business opportunity that the customer creates is the prey. So the first stage is search. And for search, they say you got to have a good nose for business. What better role model for a great nose than the great white shark? It can smell 1 drop of blood in 10 billion drops of water. But besides its great sense of smell, the great white shark also has keen vision. It's got an excellent sense of hearing underwater. Sharks have ears which are not discernible to the untrained eye, just above their eyes. The great white shark also has a very good tactile sense to sense touch from the lateral line which goes between the grey dorsal surface and the white ventral surface which gives the great white its name. So Carcharodon carcharias, the great white shark, is brilliant in its sensory powers. It can also, the great white shark also has a good sense of taste to distinguish different types of prey as it swallows them, whether it's seal or whether it's a large fish. And it can also sense electric currents. So when we search, we got to emulate the great white shark. And how do we do this in sales? By going up the causal chain. If you want to know which organization would be a good customer for you, find out what's happening in that industry. What does your prospective customers' market look like? Is your customer selling well? Is your customer growing well? How many employees do they have? How many offices do they have? What is their growth rate? What is the level of depreciation that they have, because of which they may buy more capital goods, and so on. So that is why the great white shark is such a great role model for search. Second stage after search is qualification of a prospect. Is this a good prospect for me or not? And in this, my role model is the cheetah, the famous fastest terrestrial animal which runs at 70 miles per hour. How much is that? 112, 120 kilometers per hour. But that's for very short distances. Now, surprisingly, the cheetah does not have a very high rate of success in hunting. Though it's got camouflage, it's got stealth, it's got great speed. In short distances, it can outrun its prey, antelopes, such as gazelles, impalas, and so on. But over longer distances, their endurance enables them to outrun the cheetah. And both prey and predator can dodge and can maneuver on the plains. So, also a cheetah is not a big cat. So, it is not classified as member of the genus Panthera, which includes lions, tigers, jaguars, leopards, snow leopards. So it could become prey for a larger animal, or it could at least be killed by a larger animal. So a cheetah really has to assess what kind of prey it can take on, and it has to feed its cubs. Cheetahs are also fairly solitary. A cheetah can probably bring down even a wildebeest, which is much, much larger and heavier than it is. But it has to do all these calculations and a very quick SWOT in its mind. So the cheetah is the master of qualification on how to use its resources to complete that hunt.